Okay, good morning, good afternoon to our listeners both in the country and abroad. Juma Mubarak to our Muslim listeners. I am Larry Sise. We are back, myself and my colleague Lamin Mane, to give you the usual weekly program that we normally do. Today is a Friday. So it will be an abridged version of what we normally do, but we will cover issues that are on the horizon and in the political ecosystem in the last week. I'll let Lamin introduce himself, and then I'll tell you what our issues today will be. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Larry, and glad to be back on the program today. And we say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to our listeners, wherever you may be watching us from and whichever time. I'm glad to be back as usual to discuss the Gambia that we want, our weekly program, as Larry said. And thank you for receiving us in your homes and listening to Echo TV International, which is really now international and global. Thank you all very much, and thank you to the staff of the Echo TV. Thank you all.
Good. Lamin, today we are going to talk about a brief report on the flag bearer selection process of UDP. I think it has generated a lot of interest. A lot of people say a lot of things about it. The process has been advertised in social media, but there are still some people who do not grasp fully the process that we take. I think it's a four-step process. So Lamin was involved in it from start to finish. He is the one who is going to give this brief report on the selection process. The second issue would be UNDP's blueprint for 2027-2031. This blueprint is inherently linked and coherently called out of the 5-point agenda and the UDP manifesto in the last election. The third issue is the issue of the government's audited financial statements. In our last week's broadcast, we raised the issue that the government's audited financial statements haven't been made public or haven't been done since President Barrow got re-elected in 2021. So we have a 4-year backlog of audited reports that haven't been released. Nobody knows the level and the extent of the damage that is being caused. So we'll talk a little bit about that also. And then we'll wrap up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lami.
Thank you very much, Larry. And it's good to be able to discuss with our viewers and listeners and tell them about the selection process, how it went, to be able to apprise everybody so that we are all on the same page, because this is a very important process. We are one of the few, if not the only party in the country that goes through such a rigorous selection of its flag bearer. Every time we come up for national presidential elections, we go through this process. We we declare actually the position of flag bearer at that point vacant, and we invite interested parties to submit their applications to run for party leader, for flag bearer of the party. This year was not an exception. We had it in a couple of, presidential elections in the past. But this year was really significant in the sense that This is the first time when we advertised the position, we had 11 applicants. That is extremely significant because it shows the internal democracy in the party. Usainu Dabo didn't come and just steamroll his leadership and say, I'm the leader, I'm going to be the flag bearer, etc. No. He said, I would want to apply. And if the party and the UDP supporters deem me fit to lead, I would be honored to lead. So he applied. Actually, he was the first to apply when the process was opened. The process was opened, I think, around the 18th of August, but he was just on the way from the US. He had gone to the US, and then he came, he was bereaved. He lost a cousin and then a sister. He had to go through that bereavement, so he couldn't apply until the 26th. And the last day of application was the 2nd of September. On the 1st, Talib, Bensouda, and a few other people, I think 4 other people applied. And on the 2nd, the last day, Amadou Sane, Boriture, Karamo Fati, Suleiman Saho, and I don't know who else, they all applied, 5 others applied on the last day, on the 5th, on the 2nd. So, first thing on the 3rd, we have called a meeting of the Central Committee, and we discussed the number of people who had applied, gave the names to the committee and to the Gambian public in general. So we had 11 applicants. And we decided that we're going to conduct, because what we do once we have those applicants, the selection goes in 3 phases. The first phase is the interview of all the applicants. Each one is given about half an hour to come in for the interview. You are interviewed by a selection panel, a vetting panel rather. We set up a vetting panel, and coincidentally this year, the vetting panel was 11 people and the number of candidates were 11. So that's very coincidental. So the vetting panel did the interviews on the 4th, I think. And I think the day after, the interviews were conducted for all the applicants, all the 11 of them. And they couldn't finish it on the same day, so they had to continue the second day.
Which was on Thursday.
On Thursday. So they were vetted on Wednesday and Thursday last week. Once that was completed, on Friday, the team took off for a vetting within the country. So that vetting was Friday and Saturday. So what they do there, they go to the different regions. Each region brings on board the ward executive, the constituency executive, and the regional executive to come and meet with the vetting panel. And they discuss the candidates. Because we believe that it should not just be the Central Committee and the National Executive at the central level here who decide on who should be the candidate. So we take it to the people also, the militants on the ground, the grassroots. These are the people who would vote. So it shouldn't be something confined to the executive to decide.
And it becomes a top-down.
Exactly, exactly. So what we do, we discuss, the interviews are conducted by the executive, because you cannot have them interviewed by a whole country. So we have them interviewed by the executive, a few people selected from the executive, 11 people in this case, and then we go to the grassroots. So we have all the representation from the ward level to the regional level. They all come in and meet at the regional level. So some met in Kerewan for North Bank, others met in Kuntaur for CRR North, in Bansang for CRR South, in Basse for URR, in Kerewan for LRR, in Brikama for West Coast Region, and in Kanifing, or I think it's Kanifing for West Coast Region, sorry, for KMC, and then in Banjul. So we met all the regions and all the militants at the different levels. So you discuss with them, what do they think about the candidate, about his integrity, about his competence, about his commitment to the party, etc., etc. Criteria are defined beforehand. And these are submitted to the 5 criteria. These are submitted to the ward, constituency, and regional executive members.
At the grassroots.
At the grassroots level. So they rank the candidates from 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest, one who is really in control, who is very well esteemed and is considered electable, is considered committed to the party. They get 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1. You can even give them 0. So that rating is done at the level of the grassroots. So we bring that to the Central Committee, and then we decide on who are the top 3. So what we do, at the interview, the candidates are rated. At the grassroots, they are rated by the grassroots participants.
In rank order.
Yes. So we take that ranking and the notes and the marks given at the different levels, we make a total. You are required to have at least 70% at each level to be able to proceed to the next level.
Proceed to the next level.
So at the interview, you need to score at least 70% to be able to go to the next level. Grassroots interviews and ranking, you're supposed to have at least 70% again to go to the next level. So what happened at the interview level, many people scored 70 and above, with Mr. Dabo being the top 98%. At the grassroots level, the ranking was really much more varied. Because at the grassroots level, only Mr. Dabo scored the 70 plus. He scored 98 point something. But nobody else got 70% at the grassroots level. So if we were to go by the rules strictly, only Mr. Dabo qualified
Should
to
have
become,
proceeded to the next
yes,
level.
to become, right. He should have been automatically declared the flag bearer of the party. Because although about 7 or 8 qualified at the interview level, not
At the
one,
vetting level.
at the interview level of the vetting committee.
But at the vetting level.
But at the grassroots vetting level, nobody scored 70%. Only Mr. Dabo did. He scored 98 point something. So if we were to be totally legalistic and apply the rules, stringently, only Mr. Dabo would have proceeded and be declared immediately the flag bearer. But we thought we should give democracy a chance and be much more open. So even though the others did not score the 70% to move to the final phase, we thought it would be good practice and our support for democracy to allow 2 others, because only 3 proceed to the final selection. So we thought even though the others did not score the required 70%, let us make an exception this time round. Next time we'll see. But this time let's make an exception. We take the next 2 who, although did not score the required mark, they were below the cutoff mark, but we still take the next 2, the people who came second and third, and we add them to Mr. Dabo's name, and we have 3 which will go to the final selection. We didn't have to do that because the laws, allowed us to take Mr. Dabo alone. But we thought it would be good practice and good nurturing of democracy to do that. So we took those 2, and those 2 were Amadou Sane, who came second, and Bori Toure, who came third, even though those 2 didn't qualify by marks. So they came, and fourth was Lamin J. Dabo. But we took only the first 3 is what we take. So Mr. Dabo, Mr. Sane, and Mr. Toure proceeded to the final phase. So they were going to now go and meet the Council of Elders, because that's another phase. The first 3, we take them to meet the Council of Elders to see if there are any 2, if the 2 of the 3 will be willing to desist in favor of one candidate, so we avoid voting. Because we know that voting can be contentious, but it's democratic. But if you can avoid it, it avoids the campaigning and all that stuff, which could sometimes create some difficulties. And because we know after the election, after the voting, we'll have to bring the party together again and to go campaign. So if you can avoid elections, we try to avoid it. If you cannot avoid it, we go by the democratic dispensation. So the Council of Elders met with the 3, and none of them was willing to step down for another one. So we still maintained the 3, and we went for the elections. So the elections were held, and at the end of the elections, we brought in the press, actually. That's important.
Yeah, to
witness the whole process. So before we started the voting, we brought in the press, and the chairperson of the National Selection Committee, which is Aji Yamundawiyabo. She's the national president, and also the chair and head of the selection committee. She made a statement and explained the process, how it's going to go ahead. And Alaji S. Dabo also said a few words. And then we invited the press to leave the hall and allow us to do listen to the candidates for their final pitch before we go for the elections. That is entirely in camera. So for that, we couldn't bend the rules. So they left, the press left, and then we went to the candidates. Each one came and was given 10 minutes to sell his program. and then we went for the elections. So at the end of the elections, and as I said, our elections are always conducted by the IEC.
Yeah.
We do not conduct elections because we do not want, exactly, that's the pictures of the press when they came to see, to listen to Aji Amunda Yabo and to hear the administrative secretary as well, explain the whole process. After that, we went for the elections. And IEC conducted the elections again. Every election in the UDP, be it presidential, NAM elections, chairman and mayoral elections, councillor elections, every single election in the UDP, and even at the Congress, when you go for Congress, every election is conducted by the IEC. We invite the IEC each time to send officers to come and conduct the elections. This time around, 3 came again. They conducted the elections. They counted the votes in the presence of representatives of the candidates, and then the results were declared. And this is what we want at the national level as well. Free, fair, and transparent elections.
But the integrity of the process itself.
Yes.
Those guys who were saying, oh, it's a rubber stamp, somebody has been the anointed one. This process showed that the whole process is open, it is free, it is transparent. Above all, it has integrity.
Yes, yes.
And this is why our critics have been silent.
Yes, yes, yes.
On the issue of the process.
Absolutely.
Because if we had gone by the rules of the party, after the vetting process in the grassroots areas, 2 of these candidates did not qualify because they didn't meet the threshold.
Yeah, exactly.
But that, for me, that shows also that this is a grassroots political party.
Absolutely.
If you want to vie for a position such as a flag bearer, you have to have grassroots support.
Yeah.
If you don't have grassroots support, they're not going to,
it's a non-starter.
listen to you.
It's a non-starter.
A lot of people complain about so-and-so is not shortlisted, so-and-so. So now you have your answer.
Yeah.
The answer is if the grassroots people do not know you, they will not vote for you.
Yes. Yeah.
And this is a classic case of that phenomenon.
Yes.
Where the grassroots basically says, we know so-and-so, we don't know so-and-so. The person we know is what we are going to go with.
And the other point to that is that those who say Mr. Dabo should step down should think twice now.
Yeah.
Because the grassroots are the ones who vote for us. And these are the people who say, no, we want Mr. Dabo. So they ranked him 98.6 or 8%.
On all the things, integrity,
yeah,
morality, and
commitment to the
things,
party, and all the 5 criteria.
Yeah.
They judged him and they gave him a final score of 98.6 or 98.8, but it's 98 point something.
Yeah.
Nobody else got 70%. So this shows that the grassroots have made their choice.
Yeah.
They want Mr. Dabo. So that is the thing we say, UDP, we choose our candidate. And when I say we, it's not the executive, it's not the central committee, it's the central committee, executive, and the grassroots. Yeah. We choose who leads the party. And the choice was clear, it's Mr. Dabo. In the interview, the executive gave him 98%, 97 point something percent, 97.8, I think. And the grassroots went further, they gave him 98 point something. Yeah. So an overall total of 98%, 98 point something. So the grassroots rated him higher than the executive.
Yeah. And if you average the two,
you have 98 point something.
Yeah, you are not going to see anybody anywhere close to.
Yeah. So when you have that, you can be sure that this is somebody that the people want. Because the executive ranked him high, but the grassroots ranked him even higher.
Higher.
So, and these are the people who are going to vote. So that's why we say nobody decides our candidate for us. We decide who's going to be our candidate, who our people think is the one they want, and then we go and sell that person to the Gambian people. You see, I keep saying, Larry, look at Mr. Dabo's track record. This is a gentleman who was in government for 2.5 years. With all the corruption that has been going on in the borough government, nobody could lay claim to him having done anything having embezzled a butut. This is the gentleman who would go on mission, they would give him an impress, he comes back, immediately he gets back, he retires the impress and account for what the money, how he spent it. When he leaves office, as soon as he gets home, he asks his driver to park the official car. If he needs to go out or go do anything, they take his personal car. Yeah. He will not use the official car except to go to the office and come back home. Unless there's an official function after work where he has to go in the official car, when he gets home, the car is parked till the following day. That is the gentleman we are talking about. Yeah. And this is the gentleman who led the party, UDP, for 29 years. We're in the 30th year, including 22 under a dictatorship. Nobody, and I say nobody, was able to accuse him of anything untoward. He didn't do one thing that you can say is morally reprehensible or we can challenge. Nothing, nada. And he has been in public life for half a century. Again, nothing you could lay at his door. Look, unless you're looking for an angel, I would take that guy any day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The thing is, Lamin, several issues are in contention here. The selection process, I think the idea that somebody is anointed or is the leader of a cult has been debunked.
Yeah, yes.
The integrity issue is not an issue.
Yes.
Somebody who's been in the public domain for 50 years and you can't point one thing to him and it sticks, it's remarkable.
Yes.
The other thing is about the electability issue. Those who say he is not electable, I don't know where they get that notion from.
It's
but when
all
you
biased.
go to the grassroots,
yes,
you realize that this guy is the favorite.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go.
Absolutely.
Throughout the length and breadth of the country.
Yeah.
People who are calling. I was not involved in the selection process, but as a party militant, I was monitoring. I was calling.
Yeah, and you are very close to all the decisions they take in the party. You see it every day, and you are a trusted and esteemed person.
And at the end of the day, I just said Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
I said Alhamdulillah because most of the notions have been debunked by the process.
Yes.
Those who say electability is not electable and stuff, they should go back to 1996 when this party was formed. This man has won all of those elections.
Thank you.
Under Jammeh.
Thank you.
He has won 2021 also.
And let me say something there. People say, oh, he ran 6 times, he failed. That's not true. He ran 4 times. Not 6. Yeah. One of the times the election was boycotted by the UDP. Yes. He didn't run. 2016, he didn't run. It was Barrow. He ran 4 times, not 6 times to start with. Yeah. And secondly, and more importantly, what you just said, every single election he participated in, he won. Because Jammeh had a stock of 300,000 votes in the system that they distributed when the voting was done. And everybody knows it. That's why eventually they burned down their headquarters or their office, regional office in Kanifing. And when that was done, he lost. Yeah. And when he lost, what did he say? Where are my 300,000 votes? Yeah, they were burnt, sir. That was why he was winning. And that's exactly the same thing that happened in 2021. The people who are working for Jammeh and doing that were co-opted by Barrow. And they reconstituted that stock and distributed it in the system. That's how they won. And that's what you tell them will not happen again. Because you see, the 300,000 they put in the system, not all of them vote, but we know how it's done. Yeah. We won't discuss that, but we know how it's done and it will not happen again. All this issue about going to register people outside, giving them voters cards, ID cards, is geared towards the same fraudulent activity. Yeah. So that they can input those names into the electoral rolls and inflate it again. These people told us last time we had 900,000 voters in the Gambia. That's total rubbish.
It's actually preposterous for
a
population of
2.4 million to tell us we had 900,000 voters. It's preposterous.
1 million of them voting.
At best, it would have been 600,000. Nowhere near. But because they had their 350,000 votes in the system that they were going to distribute, how we got to 900,000. That's not going to happen again. There will be no more rigging of elections in this country.
And you have the cabinet minister saying, we know what we have done.
Yes.
We have
Ibrahim Stiller, to be precise. He came out and said, we know what we've done. When the elections are over, some people are going to just say, how did we let this happen? They were announcing the results even before the voting started.
Yeah.
Because they knew what they did, and they stood out and said, if a person tells you who he is and what he's doing, you better believe them.
You better believe it. Yeah.
And that's what Ibrahim Silla came and did. He told us, we know what we've done. And when these elections are over, people will start wondering and saying, how did we let this happen? Yes, we did ask, how did we let it happen? Because we didn't think they would be that dishonest. But that dishonesty has come to an end. It will not happen again. No more rigging in this country. No more cheating us out of our victory. 2026, we're going to win. Because you know why? Gambians are fed up with Barrow and his government. And with all the corruption that's going on, which we'll talk about later on today. But that is why the Gambian people are fed up. And we have shown the country that we are a democratic institution. We uphold democracy and all its tenets, and we go beyond the call of duty. We could have declared Mr. Dabo the winner and we proceed to the next stage, but we decided to even go extra and give the others a fighting chance. So we brought in the second and third who did not even qualify. At the end of the process, Mr. Dabo got 54 votes. The whole total voting population of the selection committee is 81, except that those who are candidates do not vote.
Yeah.
So we had about 4 or 5 people who did not vote because they were candidates. So that brings it down to about 74, 75. Out of that, 64 voted, which is a very high turnout.
Yeah.
And the 64, Amadou Sane got 2, Bori Toure got 8, and Mr. Dabo got 54. That's a crushing victory.
Yeah.
Again, it shows how much people want Mr. Dabo to win. And at the end of that process, you can see it there in the pictures on the screen, Bori Toure came and congratulated him. Amadou Sane came and congratulated him. They all hugged him. Because that is what the UDP is. We fight it out very strongly, very sincerely and tough. But when it's over, we put it behind us and move forward. Hey, we challenged you. We wanted your seat. We haven't got it. The people still have confidence in you. We fall behind. We fall in line. We are with you, and we're going to do this together. Yeah. So they all fell in line, and we are a party again united. And we're going to go. For us, our work is cut out for us. Yeah. We're starting the campaign and the work today. In fact, not today, from the day we elected Mr. Dabo. So we are going ahead to do what is required. And 26, Adama Barrow, we're coming for you. We'll beat you fairly and squarely. So maybe it's about time to start packing some of your things from State House. Okay? Thank you.
You know, Lamin, when you look at the UDP process, the rigorousness of it, the transparency, the integrity of it, you have to wonder, how did NPP select Adama Barrow?
He didn't select it. He imposed himself.
To become flag bearer.
He imposed himself. There was no selection.
The minute he says, I'm going to run for a third term, they all recoiled.
Yeah.
Nobody challenged him.
No.
In their Congress, he allegedly said, and this was on social media, that there are certain individuals that he does not want people to contest against.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't want to name these names because for me, I will name their names when the appropriate time comes.
But everybody knows.
Everybody knows who they are.
We've seen them.
He says, do not contest against them. Nobody contested against them. Now, DOI, how does DOI select its leadership?
They'll have to explain that to us because
they will have to explain that to us.
But
all the other political parties have an obligation now to tell us how they select their flag bearers, because the focus has always been on UDP.
Yeah, and in fact, we'll let them select their flag bearers the way they want to, but we are setting the standard. We are saying we are democratic, and this is how we do it, and anybody who wants to follow suit and do the same to support democracy, bravo, wonderful. If you choose to do otherwise, well, that's your choice, but for us, we give the people the choice. Let them choose who they want to be the flag bearer, and we will campaign with them. We don't impose anybody on them and say, this is who you should vote for. But once we have our flag bearer, then we go to sell it to the Gambian population. Say, hey, we have gone through a rigorous selection process. This is what we came out with your support, with your contribution and your input. Now we come back to you with that candidate. But we want to extend it beyond you, the party militants. We want to sell our candidate to the rest of the country. And this is why we think you should vote for our candidate. And we'll explain, we'll campaign, we'll convince people, because we want unity within the country. We want to have people buy our candidate and his agenda. We don't want to induce anybody. We don't want to buy anybody. We will not lie to anybody, certainly not. We will give you our program the way it is, explain it to you cogently, and then the choice is yours. But I'm sure by the end of the time we finish, everybody will be voting UDP because they see what we are proposing, as opposed to what these people failed to do over 9 years and getting to 10 years. And what they will not do. Hey, what they could not do in 9, 10 years, forget it. They won't do it and they come back again. They'll just even get more corrupt. More corrupt.
Talking about standards. You know, throughout its history, UDP has been held to a much higher standard than all these other political parties. Even as we are explaining this process to our audience and to Gambians and listeners all around the world, when the selection was announced, it says all those who want to apply.
Yes.
All those who want to apply.
And can I just say something there?
Yeah.
Even the person who joined the party, the day before we announced the flag bearer, we announced, invited applicants, the person who joined the party the day before is eligible to apply.
To apply.
Yeah.
So all those who want to apply should apply.
Yeah.
But I saw on social media, some people are saying, but why didn't they include a woman? We do not pick people to come and say, like the others do, you stay here, you go into this lot. It's like a game of roulette. It's announced. I would love to see a viable, honest female candidate in our electoral process.
And again, just allow me to chip in there for a second. Ousainou Darboe said in the last, after the last councillor elections, he said for the next national elections, we want to see everybody come in and apply, and we want to have at least 35 women candidates, 35%. So because what we want to do is promote gender parity in this country.
And that meets the international standards also.
And with the objective of moving from 35 to 50. But 35 is the minimum we're aiming for. But again, we have to get the women folk to apply for it. The presidential candidature is a different animal here because we do not have so many people of a national stature who would want to apply. And our women folk, there are quite a few of our women folk who are capable of applying for this. But what they said is that we trust Ousainou Darboe.
Yeah.
We love him and we love what he's been doing for the country. The 4 times he ran for president, we saw his program, we saw what he went through, we saw what he did for this country. We trust him. I am sure if Ousainou were not on the ballot, or when come 2031, because 26 we're going to win, and I believe Ousainou is going to be a one-time president, so 31, there won't be much campaign. But you'll see women candidates come in 31. Because we are the only party who has almost parity in the National Executive Committee between men and women. Same thing for the Central Committee. We are the party who put forward the first woman mayor in this country, Rahim Ali Klo. We are the party that has so many women in all our structures, National Executive, Central Committee, regional executives, regional local authorities, etc. So we are there. But we want to go to the parity where we have at least 50%, or maybe even more than 50% women. Yeah, so sorry for that long intervention.
No, it's good we're explaining these things, just to underline the fact that UDP is held to a much higher standard than the rest of the political parties. And I'm glad to say we always meet that challenge and show them that it can be done, and it has been done. Now, the second issue is our UDP's development blueprint. I think in addition to the 5-point agenda and the manifesto, candidates were required to indicate what things they will do for the first 100 days. And I think this is where the blueprint issue comes in. Again, you were there. You saw all the 11 candidates' statements on what the future holds. And out of those 11, I think 4, Lawyer Dabo, Talib Bensouda, Ibrahim.
You mean the ones who scored?
No, I'm saying within UDP, the individuals who submitted their blueprint for the 100 days. I think all our candidates did.
Yes, all of them did. All of them did,
Lawyer Dabo, Amadou Sane, Bori Toure, Talib Bensouda, Lamin
J. Dabo,
and
Lamin Cisse,
and
Lamin Jawara
and Saho. I think all of them did the blueprint. For us, UDP, our candidates' blueprints were called or linked to our 5-point agenda.
And manifesto.
And the manifesto. Which are still relevant. It's a question of, for some indicators, it's a question of updating the data. But the issues are still very relevant. Just briefly touch on that, and then we move to the next one.
Because this country is in a mess right now. So anybody who comes to power will have to do a number of things very quickly to try to put the country back on track. So what we ask our candidates is, tell us what you're going to do in the first 100 days to get the country moving again. These are the low-hanging fruits. What can you do quickly to turn the country around, to achieve the results we need, to be able to save the country and save the Gambian people and make their lives better very quickly? And from there on, what will you do for the remainder of your term of 5 years? So that we see. But because we don't want anybody to come and just make vague promises.
As we are experiencing now.
Because as you said, we are held to a very high standard. And we must live up to that. And we consistently do. So we tell our people, don't give us any vague promises. Tell us, what are you going to do in the first 100 days when you get to power? And what are you going to do subsequently? So that we know what you are selling, whether we buy it, whether we can realistically achieve that, because you didn't tell us stories that you know you cannot achieve. And don't come and tell us you're going to build a bridge across the Banjul-Bara crossing, because we know it won't happen.
And you are going to be held accountable.
Exactly.
To deliver.
You're going to be held accountable, but you also want to tell us something realistic. If you come and tell us, oh, in the first 100 days, on the first time, I'm going to build a bridge between Banjul to Bara, we'll say you're a joker. Just like Barrow has been joking with us all along. So we wouldn't buy those sort of. So come with a realistic program that you can implement in the first 100 days and in the period subsequent to that. So that's what we require of our candidates. So everybody came with his blueprint. This is what I'm going to do in the first 100 days, and this I'm going to do it. And after that, I'm going to go to do this, that, until the end of the term. So we rate them according to that. And that is what happened. And most of the people, if not all of them, drew that from our 5-point agenda and our manifesto. And you take a different angle, different emphasis here and there, but essentially it was around those things. And this is what we want. We want realistic politics. I keep saying we are not political optimists or pessimists. We are political realists.
And pragmatists.
Thank you for that. We want to see what we can do, what is feasible. We will not tell the Gambian people stories. We will not promise you things we cannot deliver. We can tell you, yes, this is difficult, we'll try, but we cannot promise. There are things that we know we can achieve, and how we can achieve them, how we can finance them, we will tell you that. Because when we come to power in 2026, early 2027, it is to run this country on the basis of integrity, in the sense that our word is our bond.
Integrity and honesty.
Yes, what we tell you
is what
we're going to do. What you see is what you get. We will not tell you stories. We will not tell you, oh, when you campaign, you say anything. When you get to power, you do something else. No, that's not integrity. We tell you what we tell you, take it to the bank. And that's what will happen. And that's how our candidates were rated and ranked on the basis of those programs that they presented to the vetting committee. So that's extremely important, and thank you for that question. Yeah.
Excuse me. Now, you recall last week we talked about the fact that the government has not shown us or released any audited financial statements of the government since Barrow got re-elected in 2021.
Yeah.
This means that...
when he stole the elections in 2021.
Yeah, well...
And you have been very consistent about saying that you want those audit reports.
Yes.
You have been saying it all along.
I've been saying it for 3 years now.
Yes, yes.
And we are in the 5th year, and there are no audited financial statements of the government.
Yes.
All we get are management audits. And management audits, while they are good in telling you whether the organization, the institution is being managed properly or not, it just will be scratching on the surface of the issues that, that underlie corruption, for example, and mismanagement. What tells the real story is the audited financial statements.
Yes.
We've been consistently saying it. Now, those audited financial statements haven't been released, or have they been done? Now, we want to know. And now, just on Thursday or Friday, I think, recently the president reshuffled his cabinet.
Oh, yeah, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday or Wednesday, yes. And it's interesting. I looked at my watch. When Usainu Dabo was declared the flag bearer, it was around 4:15, 4:20, and Barrow's statement came from State House at 4:30. So basically, his communications people wanted to crowd out the fact that UDP has a flag bearer. That's the only thing you can say. But a day later, we hear on social media that the Auditor General has been appointed as Minister of Trade and Industry. Minister of Trade and Industry is being moved laterally to Defense. And everybody was saying, but what experience does the Auditor General have to be Minister of Trade? Or what experience does a former teacher who is now Trade and Industry Minister and has been doing well there, what experience does he have in the security sector for him to be Minister for Defense? Yeah. But what is interesting in all of this, Lamin and our viewers, we hear the Auditor General has declined.
Yes.
And we also hear he has...
I say bravo.
Bravo to him.
Integrity.
If only people will take the positions that they are qualified for.
You see, this is the second time, only the second time in the Barrow government, Bakari Jammeh, from Central Bank, who declined to become the same Minister of Trade. And now the Auditor General also declined to become Minister of Trade. The only two people who had enough integrity to say, no, I'm not taking a ministerial post. Because it's not my area. Yeah, it's not my area, and it's not my desire to go there. I want to do my technical job. Fabakary Jammeh was the first person who did that here on the Barrow and said, no, I'm not taking the ministerial job, I'd rather resign. And he was fired. And the same with...
I think the same thing is playing out with the Auditor General.
Yes.
We don't know what is actually going on. So all we have is a series of questions. Has he declined the ministerial position? And if he has declined the ministerial position, is it true what we are seeing on social media that PIU have been sent to remove him from the office? I hope that does not happen. Because that Auditor General position is a constitutionally mandated position.
Yes.
And there are clear guidelines in the Constitution as to how you can appoint and remove an Auditor General. In fact, I did a bit of quick research on it, and I found out that even the Public Service Commission is involved. If you want to remove an Auditor General, you have to show cause for what you are going to remove him for. And the panel is chaired by a competent judge with commensurate qualification and rank as a High Court judge. So I am glad this guy is a Sise guy.
He should have been a Mane.
Kunda has done it, and he cannot make us prouder than what he has done.
We'll have to check his background. So he has Mane somewhere.
No, he doesn't. This is a pure Mandimori. and what he has shown is the guts of a Mandimori to say, I don't want it. But honestly, seriously, what this shows is that this government is struggling to give us audited financial statements.
Yes.
Because they know those audited financial statements will be devastating.
Yes.
As far as the level, the extent of the entrenched systematic corruption.
Yes. Yes.
I've been calling for these audits for so long. Mm-hmm. Now it's making me feel like I'm playing a broken record.
Yeah.
I have said GRA needs to be not just financially audited, forensically audited.
Yeah.
I have said Ports Authority needs to be forensically audited. The central bank needs to be forensically audited. The Ministry of Finance needs to be forensically audited.
Basically, every major institution in this government should be
forensically audited.
But another point, Larry, that I want to add to what you just said there. See, this shows why we were so right to throw out the Barrow 2024 Constitution. Yep. These are the sort of powers he wanted to arrogate to himself. I can ask you to do something. If you do and I'm not happy with the results, I'll fire you.
That is an imperial president.
Now, exactly. Now we want to see what Parliament is going to do about this firing of the Auditor General, because Parliament is involved in the recruitment of the Auditor General. Yes. And we are saying that we want the 2020 Constitution back for some of these reasons. President of the Republic should not have the power to hire and fire the Auditor General. Should not have the power to hire and fire the Chief of Defense Staff, the Inspector General of Police, the Chief Justice, etc., etc. There are some key positions in this country that must be protected. And the people who are in those positions should be protected so that they can perform their duties to the best of the interests of the Gambian people without fear or favor, and without the government being able to tamper with their appointment because they don't like what they're doing. They have to, as you said, they can only be fired for cause. Yeah. We need to have that in place. We need to make sure that the president is not an imperial president. He is a democratically elected and accountable president.
Who respects the rule of law.
If we put that in the Constitution, he'll have no choice but to respect the rule of law. And that's why we wanted the 2024 Constitution to be there. We wanted a president who will be able to appoint people. In his case, we said we don't want it. But if he appoints people to Parliament to be appointed NAMs, they should not be fired within their term. He said, I want to be able to appoint them. If I'm not happy with them, I fire them. We said, no. Right now, the Constitution gives you the power to appoint them, but if you appoint them, they serve the term.
Yeah.
But he says, no, I want them I can fire them when I want to. They work for me, they work at my pleasure. We said, no. There are rules we have to protect. So these are the reasons why we threw out that 2024 Barrow draft. Because these are the sort of powers he wanted to give to himself, which are exorbitant. Nobody should be given too much power. I keep saying, give anybody too much power, he or she will use it against you.
Yeah, eventually.
So Barrow wants to throw this Auditor General out for reasons which will become evident. Because what we are hearing is that he has produced audit reports which they don't like, and that is why they
to certify.
Yeah. Is that the case? Everything seems to point in that direction, because why haven't we had audit reports since 2021? Why is this guy immediately being just shunted aside and moved to, the French have a very good expression for that, coup de pied lateral ascensionnel, lateral ascensional kick. They give you that, they promote you, but get you out of the way. So it's a lateral kick to the side, promoting you going up, but because you have been a distraction or you have not been playing ball with them. So they give you that lateral ascensional kick, they promote you, but get you out of the way. So you don't stay in their way. So that's what they did to this guy. They don't like what he's doing, let's promote him to minister, but get him out of the way so the audit reports won't come out and they won't come out. Why? Why? These are powers we cannot give to anybody because they will use it against us. But we will see. The truth will come out. Because if this person, if it's true that he rejected the offer to become a minister,
and prefers to stay,
just like Bakari Jammeh did, he refused to accept that minister for the same ministerial post. It's awfully coincidental.
Yeah, that is
awfully coincidental. They sent both of them to trade and industry. You remember when they removed Amadou Sane from finance?
Yes,
they took him to trade and industry. I had a very good friend here under Jammeh who was in trade and industry, Musa Silla. Same thing. That gentleman too, Jammeh wanted to make him sign some very silly deals on the electricity. Electricity generation and supply in this country, and giving it to foreign people outside the country. Yeah. Musa came to Abidjan and showed me that contract. Musa, I hope you don't mind me saying this on television. We looked at it, I told him, man, don't sign this. If you sign this, one day the Gambian people will hang you. But if you don't sign it, be ready, Jammeh will fire you. Yeah. So he didn't sign it. He stood by it. His integrity was important to him. He refused to sign the document. As soon as he came back from Abidjan, Jammeh moved Nawek from his department to the presidency. Shortly afterwards, he fired him. Yeah. But the guy stood by his word. His integrity was important to him. He ended up with the Islamic Development Bank and was paid far better.
God always opens the door.
When the door is closed, another is opened somewhere. This gentleman went on to have a wonderful career at the Islamic Development Bank. He kept his integrity.
And his professionalism.
And today he's held in very high regard everywhere. The same applies to those people. Fabakary Jammeh refused to take that position. In the same ministry, he preferred to resign or be fired and keep his integrity. He lost a lot. They even compensate him. They punished him. This Auditor General as well, from what we're hearing, refused to take that bait and say, I'm not going there. I'm a professional. I'm staying where I am. I want to do oversight. If you don't want me, fire me. But I'm not going to do what you want because it's not right. These are the kind of attitudes we want in the Gambia government. This is why, you see, we have nothing against this government, as we keep saying, or Barrow. What we want is people of integrity doing what is required for the country. When you do, we clap for you. And why are we all talking about Professor Gomez today? We're saying he's a good man. He's a good professional. He's a good minister. He serves on the Barrow. But he's doing the right thing, so we all see. Yesterday I heard the chief of staff saying, oh yeah, opposition, they all talk about Professor Gomez, and he's not the only one. If he's not the only one, why aren't we talking about the others? Yeah. He should be happy that we all say Gomez is a good minister.
We certainly wouldn't be talking about the chief of staff.
Definitely not. Definitely so not. He is way out of league. He's not in the same league with Professor Gomez. So we will get those things coming, and we will continue saying it. Anybody who does the right thing for the country, we will applaud. Yeah. If Barrow himself does tomorrow, we'll applaud. But if you don't, count on us to call you out.
Yeah. This is interesting. We are running out of time. But again, the Minister of Finance, the Auditor General and the Presidency released those audited financial statements. I am so interested in what is happening in GRA, GPA, Central Bank, Ministry of Finance, Agriculture. That one is
a disaster.
It's beyond disaster.
Yeah.
So
and the same thing for NAWEC, for GAMTEL, for Gambia International Airways,
Security,
Social Security Housing Finance Corporation, all of them.
But if you can't do all of them, just select GRA, GPA, Central Bank, Ministry of Finance, and the presidency.
Yes, maybe we start with that.
Give us that, and we are cut and dry. There is no issue of you not wanting to do what statutorily you are supposed to do. And listen, I think every Gambian now knows this system is corrupt to the core.
Yeah.
Every single Gambian.
Yeah.
You know, in 2021, when we were campaigning, you had to sit and explain corruption to voters. Mm-hmm. You had to sit to explain the concept of $1 billion to them. Today, wherever you go, they know what is corruption. They know the quantum of money that constitutes $1 billion. And they also know they have a government that is corrupt to the core.
Yeah.
And let's wrap this thing up along the lines that now Gambians ought to sit and realize that this is the reason why this government doesn't want to leave power.
Yes, yes.
Because leaving power like this is exposing them. They know what they have done. Mm-hmm. They know what they are doing. And so therefore, the best option would be to rig these elections, to steal it, to buy it in order to remain in power. But the question then becomes, is that good for the country? The kind of pilferage in the system that we are seeing is not good for the country. And I'm going to conclude that I did a few searching around to say, all this corruption that we are talking about, if you go back to our agriculture sector, mm-hmm. during Jawara's regime, 1970 to 1994, the Gambia was producing on average 100,000 metric tons of rice a year.
And 150,000 tons of groundnuts.
Of groundnuts.
Yeah.
During Jammeh's time, 1994, 2017, that production slipped to about 90,000 metric tons. And groundnuts also
groundnuts today we're producing about 30,000 tons.
Metric tons, yes.
Yeah. From 150 to 30.
To 30. Now, under President Barrow, since 2017, production has slipped to 50,000 metric tons of rice. Yeah. And we wonder why the country is hungry.
Yep.
We don't have food sovereignty. We don't have household food security. And all of that is being negated by the corrupt activities of this government.
Yeah.
I think I will.
But you know, as we say in Wolof, bari na pexe, juba ko gen. Bari na pexe, juba ko gen. All that they are doing today, bari pexe, that is being, artful in just doing the wrong things. Just do the right thing for God's sake.
The usual judge.
Yeah. You see, instead of going around today trying to find ways of hiding their wrongdoing, just do the right thing. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
Because if you are scared of leaving government because you know that you have done a lot of wrong things and it's going to come out, just do the right thing. Mm. But remember, this is the government that when they voted the anti-corruption bill in 2023, it says in one of the provisions that everything that was done until the day that bill was adopted in 2023 they will not be held accountable for it. So all the wrongdoing that they did up to 2023, they've indemnified themselves. And that law will not stand. Mm. Jammeh tried to do it with the APRC government and the AFPRC when they said all that they did would not be challenged in court. They had given themselves amnesty for that. Yankuba Toure is sitting in jail today. Yeah. If this government thinks that they can indemnify themselves for the corruption they did before, they're kidding themselves. Yeah. Bailen bari pexe, tengen jub. It's as simple as that.
Lamin, let's bring in something that is related to this corruption judge issue. Mm-hmm. In the last week, while people were focused on the nomination process, selection process for the UDP's flag bearer, mm-hmm. the National Assembly passed a bill that increased the registration fee of presidential candidates from 1 million to 2 million. That has just slipped.
Yeah.
And if you look at the number of parliamentarians in chambers that voted, I think it's only about 17. 17 people decide to increase the registration fee for presidential candidates from 1 million to 2 million. And that 1 million has just been increased a few months ago. And my point here is, this is all part of this government's plans to remain in power.
Yeah.
By increasing the registration fee to 2 million, you are actually creating an elitist democracy.
What, they've moved it to 2 million now?
2 million, yes. 2 million. This was passed just this week.
You know, I've been so involved in the flag bearer issues, so I didn't have time to follow these things.
And that's why I raised it, because people have been...
This can go under the radar.
It has gone on the radar, because it's not even voted by the majority of parliamentarians. So they have quietly increased this fee from 1 million to 2 million.
God,
and it is elitist democracy, because they have the money because of this corruption.
It's not even elitist democracy, it's plutocracy.
Yeah.
The power of the rich. Plutocracy. When what we want in this country is meritocracy.
Yeah.
They've gone from meritocracy, they went to oligarchy. Now it's past oligarchy, now they're going to plutocracy. The power of money and the rich. The rich who became rich by stealing our money.
Yep. And they can afford the 2 million.
Yeah.
Easily.
So you think that will pass? You think that you can buy people and their conscience? There are a few people who have no conscience who will do that. But the vast majority of the Gambians are very, very decent people. And they would stay the course. They would stay and do what is required. We are not electing people for money. Anybody who gets elected because he bought your conscience and your vote, the day he comes to power, the first thing he does is start to recover that money he put there. He's investing money. Yeah. He has to have returns on investment. Yeah. Anybody who gave you money to be elected, when that person comes to power, him and his financiers and sponsors will first go and get their money.
Just as we are
That's why, exactly. That's why we're seeing in this country now a lot of things that are happening, and they say, oh, no, we cannot control the economy, we cannot control prices, we cannot do this. Because these people who sponsored them have to recover their money. They have to have returns on investment. Yeah. That is what is happening. And that is not what we want for this country. What we want for this country is democracy. Democracy, power of the people, for the people, by the people. Not for money and by money. As we say now, they've all become, it was before Abdul Dinar, now it's Abdul Dalasi. They're all slaves to the Dalasi now. Yeah. No. We want Abdullah, not Abdul Dinar or Abdul Dalasi. Abdullah. So they should bear that in mind. We will not allow them to turn us all into Abdul Dalasi in this country. We will not be slaves to the Dalasi. We are slaves to Allah only. Well, God.
Some people
Jehovah,
are slaves,
Yahweh, as you would want to call it.
Slaves to the Dalasi already.
Yeah. And they are a minority, a tiny minority in this country.
It's unfortunate.
The bulk of the Gambian people have honesty, have integrity, and they will never be Abdul Dalasi.
And they are practicing
Muslims and
also.
Christians.
Certain things they will not do.
Yeah, exactly.
The increase for the National Assembly members is from 50,000 for the registration fee to 150,000. And there are indications that
they might hike that up as well.
They might hike that one as well. Yeah. And the bottom line is, all the corruption that is going on, these guys have a war chest.
To
capture the country.
Yeah.
And why not start with the National Assembly and the presidency to say, we crowd them out with this kind of money, knowing very few people will be able to afford this kind of money. And
let me tell them one thing. Put the presidential nomination fee at $10 million, we'll pay it UDP. We'll pay it for Hussein Dabo. But you won't get away with this. You will not. The Gambians are watching, and they're seeing your corruption being entrenched every day. Why would you want to get a NAM for $150,000? So you can sponsor the NAMs you want, and the rest of the people who are poor cannot afford that.
Yeah.
The people want their NAMs. They want to choose the people they have to come to represent them. But you say, no, you only choose with money. That's what I'm saying. This Abdul Dalasi, it won't happen. The Gambians will vote you out because they don't want this corruption and this capture of our state and its resources that you are operating in this country. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway,
now,
the Gambians will decide soon.
There is very little time for the local languages.
Yeah, but let us just say it quickly in a short few words. Huh?
Yeah. 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes. Okay,
yeah.
I'll do 5 in Molof Mandinka for this election.
Yeah.
Okay. Mbadi Mandinkolo aka moyla lunka men fo wala mo UDP ngan nambiro nga tombonne. Nambiro in the sense na flag bearer. Min be lola nye pour 2026 election nga tombonne. No sen dabole tombon. Nga tombon nyaadile. Yin kare tambila August atil tan nin sey. Nko mu wala taka lo ka ken nambiro ti ka ken flag bearer ti. Nana yeto safi. Yaki Alaji S. Dabo as administrative secretary. Ye mobe yakije up to September karotili fula. Ubanta dami tombo ndiro kelale. Usien Dabo ya tadu ndik August karotili mwani woro. Aka lafta kelal alola. Kada fanya mkone. Mbanyi na limwoli yen tombo mbekelati. Tadu ndi on the 26 August karotili mwani woro. August karotili killing tali Ben Suda ani mwona ni kote yadundi. Karotili fula njamo. August September karotili fula njamo Amadou Sane Suleiman Saho ane fiore bi fana liadundi so mo tannin kilina soto mili lota ko lafta kala UDP la flag bearer nga tombo ndiroke tombo juga ka kanya dile bi mo tannin kilina tofo ngi be ko mandi kacale ka fme interview ke nyinen ka ni te sita tili keme folo mu nekala nyim banko kam pour ka kole yatala ninka banko sambanyar ef nyaaw fo nyim mu nekala nyim tili keme folo pour ka tariya ka banko ka falingo ke ka kole yatala ni ko kola tili sanji lulo min toje mu nekala pour ka banko lo célébrer ko ka bonde nyin kola yakona nyin ngata ko ngi interview wolle la so mo yela wol fonye yela lo la fonye UDP kono etc. Bringa ko ngambandi nko say mbawo national executive la sorry central committee ko lié mo le tombo milketa vetting committee di mo tanne kilo yin ka wala le saying mitanga banko fana to ma le yin ka kaatun tol dam mabe ka president otom bombi ka dam mabe ka refa ba ko bel ka fay say ngata ban ko kan mol nginen ka fana yimina mira ani lafta jumal so itata ni region seyo beto region woro wulo be ani banjul kata ka mol nginen ka nyin millotate yelo ne bang ila tela le bang ya mere tilin tale bang ya mere yimuna ke kata pati ya mere si ban ko sambano nyamal tilin sobe yakon o kuma fa nginen ka wala so mol min nata pour ko nginen ka ro ke jabi wala milu bota executive wala bota wards nyolto milu bota constituency to milu wards nyol wala ka council to bondami and milu bota constituency ka député to bondami and regional ga chairman to bondami wala data ila executive kana si kany ko mol jabi wala ka ila molu si ila mol yeje so wala jabi momo ni yemi ta jabi ye points dan tan diala ni ko ye mo bete bale mo ay do ko non la tala fengate isaji fo lulu si lulu dino la point lulu ni ko de ñewode malani na wala ñi mantile feseta isi point ki ndi wala ni man fendi la fa so yo fan yo rating fananke ñun region woro lo beto ka ba North Bank kata CRR South CRR North URR LRR West Coast region and KM and Banjul so yo mo be rate wala ñaama biri ye bandi nata si ngawli be la ñokan dula lo am minti ñi interview to national executive la vetting committee the central committee la vetting committee anin banko kam moli yin kamen anyanta kanyan a do nyanyam ni kemele mu ñu tawraw la sotale pour ye pass so interview to mo jamaay tawraw la ni santo soto musen da boy tawraw la ni tawkono to ni waraw la ni fenne soto interview to moli ya banta e tan konon to ni seyni fen soto kemo kon so yalla mutu ya banne so in do fana ya soto interview mo jama ya soto ngamira fo woro wala milita woro wulo soto bari interview ko mol kata mol nyinin ka banko kan usen dabo damma le tan konon to ni sey soto ke mo kon nyin to mali be mo man tawro wala soto na loi ko le ko ni mi man tawro wala soto mbe o felale so Ousseynou Dabo ñu mo tan ki ko dam male tankonon to lim fesul ko tamit taw wala son sa no lon ko ba Ousseynou Dabo tamit taw wala mba tere dam mba to bonda ko moy ba baren ko hani bawo ñoo seyale be kering anul fi démocratie le fasala hani mil man taw wala so ngam la taw wala mil ma so to fanan ngam mo dan tan to ko mo fula bawo ko mo sabal bita final stage ot mil man pass mo fula taw nga la Ousseynou kan ita final stage ot ita stage la bangot so to mo Amadou min na second nga Amadou ta ni bori touré nge la kan la min jeda wala nani jon bari mo sabaleta so nga wala na sabolta itata stage la bangot stage la to mo ndiro fam futandi wala so jeni be carte o fayla nga alfa ka fole ko mandi ni siye kacha ya fa alcool dum altabula la kiliye ban pour kana carte fe to mo ka ko yale dum na male bina pour campagne la fo ka kilindi so bari mo sabo be ko no Ousseynou Dabo Amadou Sané la Bori Touré mo ko tabula la moy ko bismillah babo mo pare kambula na loi mi fo sami ta carte fayol ndara carte fayol selection committee mo tan sey ni kilina ka traje so tan sey ni kilin ka banko be le represent so tan sey ni kilin mol bi lota carte fayol ke candidate yalo bi ka fay so mo lulu wala woro ma fay so mo tawro wala ni nani tawro ne lulu wala nyanta fay la bar mo be manna minna ta carte fayol ta kay mo tawro anin nani o tawro ni nano kono fula ya fay Amadou Sané sey ya fay Bori Touré tallulu ni nani ya fay Ousseynou Dabo nga Ousseynou Tombo so bi atle mun na flag bearati ndat libita election la atle bin barobe la election la 2026 anem mo ko ten dol to mando parce que baro busandi nya si akono ba kan donc bako di ke kono ba ne busandi si ke kono ba la aw kono kan wutu nga sonko say nga boyle nga tente nga ta state house nga Ousseynou Sambaji so be tembol to say so be dan dawol to wala karo ba tay mo man siya nga fusura kon fanan mbokay mang leen di sante di leen gërem liñ bëggoon a waxtaan ak yéen tey waxtu bi gàtt na rek waaye ngeen meñu rek ñu wax ci lu gàtt rek ñu tànn naka lañ defee suñu flag bearer bi naka lañ ko tànnee niñ koy tànnee mooy saa ñu bëgg war a dem ci presidential election dañoo oote ne koo xam ne bëgg ngaa nekk flag bearer kaay nga samp sa ndënde ñu mun a tànn soo ren fukk ak benn UDP members ñoo samp seen ndënde ne bëgg nañoo nekk flag bearer ci fukk ak benn boobu noonu ñu jël leen yóbbu leen interview mooy dañoo tànn ñeena ci central committee nga xam ne suñ national président Aji Yaamu Ndaw Jaabo mooy président yi selection committee bi moom mooy tànn yeneen fukki nit ñi bokk ak moom ñu interview so mu tànn ñooñu ñu interview maanaam toog waxtaan ak ñi bugg a nekk flag bearer ñu waxtaan ak ñoom ku nekk lañ lay laaj mooy soo toogee téeméeri fan yi njëkk yi ni ngay nekk président looy defal réew mi pour nga mun a wàññi coono bi pour nga mun ñoo jëlee ci nguuta bi ñu nekk nii parce que réew mi ci nguuta la nekk léegi nañ la laaj loolu pour nga xam soo ñu seet loolu ndax yow loo ci mën a def loo ci mën a naka def ba saafaral problème yi su téeméeri fan yooyu jeexee nga wax ñu looy defati ci li des ci juróomi at bi ngay nekk président looy defal réew mi pour nga génne ñu ci toroxtaange bi ñu nekk nii pour nga sàmm réew bi yóbbu ko ci kanam sàmm suñ économie bi réew gi mun a naat nag ngay def pour doomi réew mi yëpp mun a am ku nekk mun a am sa àq ak sa yelleef loolu lañ lay laaj soo ñëpp tontu loolu suñ ko tontoo nag ku nekk dañ lay jox maak dañoo jëlee benn ba téeméer soo ñu seet yow li nga tontu ak li nga wax ak li ñu won because bugguñ kenn ku ñëw ne su ma toogee dinaa samp yoon fële dinaa def bridge between Banjul ak Barra ah bugguñ kenn ñu wax loo xam ne xam nañ ne du digga ku ñoo wax loo ñoo wax dafa nekk loo xam ne di nga ko mën a def di nga ko mën a fay di nga ko mën a am xaalis pour ñu def ko nga wax ñu loo xam ne dinañ ko mën a dégg te dañ ko mën a jaaya doomi réew mi ñoom ñoo wax ñu seen liñ bugga ñu ne leen baax na soo ñu liñ ci interview bi jeexee ku nekk ñu jox la maak ci maak su yooyu nag ku ñu war a tànn pour nga continuer da nga war a am lu néew ci téeméer bi war naa jox juróom-ñaari fukk soo mi juróom-ñaari fukk ci téeméer yi qualifié nga pour nga dem next stage bi waaye dañoo jël max rek denc ko xaar soo bi ñu defee loolu Ousseynou Dabo amoon na juróom-ñeenti fukk ak juróom-ñaar ak li ci tegu so ñeneen ñi am na foog naa ñeneen juróom ak wala juróom-benn am nañ juróom-ñaari fukk yi ñu doon laajte so ñu dem nag laajte doomi réew mi ci biir réew mi ci gox-goxaan yi ku nekk dem laaj la yow loo xalaat ci ñii foog nga ne ñii ñu bugg a taxaw nii ñu bugg a ñu samp seen dënd ndax jub nañ ndax liggéeykat lañ ndax xam nañ leen ci parti bi ndax foog nga ne ñi mun nañu amee réew mi ndax nañ mun a sàmm doomi réew mi ak seen yu mel noonu la ñu leen laaj soo ku nekk tontu nag su ñu daan tontu nag parce que xam nañ ne National Executive Central Committee bi du ñun ñoom moom Gambia ñun ñoom moom parti bi ñun dañu fi teg pour ñu téye parti bi pour ci turi doomi réew mi so ñi ñu tànn ñun ci ñun lañ dellu dem laaj bi tey ñu leen fi mu nekk yéen tam loo leen ci xalaat suñu jëlee exécutif yi jógee ci ward si mooy maanaam fi ñoo tànnee councilor yi ñu indi ward exécutif bi indi constituency exécutif yi daanaka fi député di jógee indi regional exécutif bi fi ñoo tànnee chairman yeeg yooyu indi ñëpp taaj leen ne leen fi mu nekk kayit yaa ngi nii yéen bindal leen ñu ngeen wax ñu ku nekk loolu ci xalaat nga jox ko maak ba mu jeex bi nga ko defee ba mu jeex nag ñu dajale yëpp seet ku nekk lan la am yóbbu ko nag léegi ci selection committee bi selection committee bi mooy ñi nekk national executive ak ñu ñoo tànn jógee ci region si région bu nekk dafa tànn benn góor ak benn jigéen parce que ñun dañ xam ne góor ak jigéen a bokk réew mi doo tànn góor rek indi soo région bu nekk dañ leen da ngay tànn benn góor ak benn jigéen ñu ñëw représente la comme parlement comme suñu néegi député yi su ñu ñëw toog nag seet gars yi li ñu def soo ku nekk dañoo seet nag ndax am nga juróom-ñaari fukka ci interview bi ndax am nga juróom-ñaari fukka ci bi ñu demee laajte nit ñi ci goxaan yi ñu mun a continuer def li ñoo def soo ko xam ne amuloo juróom-ñaari fukka ci interview wala ci interview ci gox-goxaan yi duñ la mun a jël so bu ñu seetee loolu Ousseynou Dabo rek moo passé juróom-ñaari fukka ci ñaari ci interview bi ak fi ñoo waxtaanee ñu di ci gox-goxaan yi ak région si so moom daanaka moom kenn rek moo qualifié pour nekk flag bearer noonu nañu am foofu ñu ne fi mu nekk jeex na Ousseynou Dabo mooy flag bearer parce que moom rek a qualifié ñu tànn ko def ko flag bearer waaye dañ ne déedéet nañ seet li nga xam ne mooy gën a yaatal démocratie ci réew mi liñ bëgg mooy démocratie gën a sax ci réew mi ku nekk mën cee gis sa boppa ñu ne fi mu nekk ñeneen ñi comme que xam nañ ne qualifié yuñ because amuñ liñ soxla waaye nañ ci jël ñaari ñen la jël second ak third ñaareel bi ak ñetteel bi ñu teg ko ci kaw Ousseynou Dabo muy ñetti nit comme niñ ko baaxoo di def teg ko ci muy ñett ñu dem ci final stage bi ñu dem fi ñoo mujjee nag foofu buñ tànnee yooyu Ousseynou mooy qualifié second mooy woon Amadou Sané third mooy Bori Touré ñu boole leen yóbbu leen selection committee so selection committee balaa ñoo tànn di sànni ñiy karta dañoo oo kuréelu kilifa yi ñu ooy committee of elders kuréelu kilifa yi ñoo toog waxtaan ak ñoom leen mu ngoog fi nekk day wax affaire baa ngi war a jeex léegi tee mu jeex yéen ñett la ndax kenn ci ñaar ci yéen mën nañoo bàyyee kenn pour ñu bañ a sànni carte soo ko defee de li ñoo ut rek mooy féewale bañ a am comme que suñ paree ci lii ñoo bokkaat dem campagne yi te élection léegi mu xala jafe ndax mun am na ñoo xam ne mun nañoo bàyyil kenn soo leen ko bëggee ñu bàyyil kenn rek ñu tànn kooku ñu dem bañ a am élection waaye yàlla def nag ñoom ñett ñëpp kenn du bàyyi Ousseynou bëggut a bàyyi Amadou Sané bëggut a bàyyi Bori Touré bëggut a bàyyi so loolu bu xewee nag li ci des rek mooy ñu sànni carte parce que démocratie la ñu doxee ñun ñu indi IEC ñoom ñoo doxal suñu élection di comme ni ñu ko defee ci réew mi parce que loolu lañ bëgg a ñun IEC dañ leen ñaan defal li war rek ñu ñëpp jàppale la su ñu jëlee IEC indi leen ñu ne kaay leen dimbali ci suñu sànni carte gi ñoom ñoo organise sànni carte gi ñu indi ñetti ndaw foofu noonu ñu dimbali ñu sànni carte ñu ñoo organise yëpp ñoom ñoo séntu fi ñoo sànnee carte ñoom ñoo compté carte yi ak représentatif yi candidates yi ñu leen fa toogal ñu compté carte yi yëpp jeex ñu génn résultats yaa ngi nii soo résultats yi ci juróom-benn fukk ak ñeneenti ñi sànni carte juróom-benn fukk ak ñeneent ñoo fa nekkoon ci ñooñu ñaar sànni lañ Amadou Sané juróom-ñett sànnil Bori Touré juróom fukk ak ñeent sànnil Ousseynou Dabo fa lañ tànn Ousseynou Dabo ne moom moo suñu candidate su nekk moom moo ñoo jiitee ci élection si ñun ñëpp jàppale ko léegi nag bi affaire yi jeexee sant yàlla Amadou Sané ak Bori Touré ku ñëw rek xoog Mr Dabo jàpp ko fóon ko ne ko waaw taxaw na nga yow nga daane ñu nga gañe ñu ngi lay sant di la gërëm ñu ngi sa gannaaw ñu continuer di liggéey ci réew mi loolu lañ bëgg a gis parce que UDP bi loolu lañ baaxoo di def te loolu la mooy war ci réew mi soo ñu mbég ci rek ñu rafetlu ko soo fi mu nekk dinañ dem sànni carte léegi Ousseynou Daaw mooy nekk suñ boor bi mooy ñëw bëreeg waa jooju noonu borom dex ak kuréy gi mooy bëreeg moom waaye nañ ko ne Adama Barrow 2026 dinañ la bëcc toog sa dex gi loolu moom du ñàkk nag incha allah so loolu lañ bëgg a wax ñëpp ñi xam nañ tànnee suñ flag bearer jeex na soo léegi ñu ngi xaar 2026 waaye ñun ñu ngi door suñu liggéey léegi door nañ sax soo dañoo continuer rek daanaka continuer lépp 2026 sànni carte yi ñu génnee fii kii parce que ñëpp xam nañ li xew ci réew mi foog mu jeex doy na soo falaa leen lu leen bëggoon a wax rek ngeen xamee ko noonu ñu leen di sant di leen gërëm di leen jox dig daje bi beneen yoon jërëjën jëf yal na leen ñaale yokk a xéewal ak sutura.
Lamin balaa ñoo dem nañ sant nañ congratulate regional chairman yi. waaw. liggéey bu baax. liggéey bu rafet lañ def ak seen teams.
ak seen teams yi.
def nañ grassroots liggéey boo xam ne. li nga wax gox gi ak goxaat. waaw. regional chairman yi ak seen teams yi ñoo def liggéey boobu. yes. ñu ngi leen a. di jaajëfal waaw di jaajëfal ne di rafetul seen liggéey yu baax yi. li ngeen def ñun ñëpp bëgg nañ ci. parce que liggéey dafa métti. jël ñoo xam ne ñu ngi from villages yi. indi ku nekk ci seen regional capital si. sànni karta ngeen sàmma ñu ñëpp toppatoo leen jiite leen. jafe na de waaye gàcce gaalaama. li ngeen def ñu ngi ko rafetlu. baade mandinkolu na la mbe kumo dan damen wolem na regional chairmanolu ani la timolu ke tentu ke jayi ye doku beto men ke nyin flag bearer selection quota be samale kono mo be wala moli la dokol tije la kunkol tije tata ake nyin kama banko be bulo men kono si bo bulo kono itata e doko me alonka beteata ñiñata a horomoyata fanan a tilinta mbal konton na mbal jayla wo doku betola ningal be kilin to fon sina mistake nte dol to fala baren sa fodron regional chairman olu ala baraka albe doku beto menna patio e bolon kono anin basanta santo satewol to ala continue ale o doku sifa continue because wala be nganyandi la election dila yes mo be alon ko banko man tarata ka nyanta tala nyami so momo lafta wo e falling UDP la bundabe elerin alinga na kinyola na falindiroke banko momo nyanta men soto la ya soto mo kana kuntu ini soto fengo tem bar banko fanan na soto fon mo dandan kana muta droy ba batar dia domo wala tin nan ko mbal konton nan mbal jayla albe hakalbe nyin doku beto men keka ala barka yes.